Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to have some fighting words. But before we go any further, you know the routine. I need for you to like this video. I need for you to share this video. And also, please subscribe to my channel. So we're going to have a fight recap about the Gary Russell Jr. versus Magsayo fight. And, you know, when you think about bad fights, I'm not going to say a bad fight. It's just when you have a guy who knows that he's not 100%, and he's fighting someone, you know, a lot younger and who has been active and who's bigger. I don't know, like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm not gonna say the champ needs a tune-up fight or anything. Like, I'm not gonna say that he's a champ, so why does he need a tune-up fight? But it's been like 2 years in activity. I don't know. When it comes to Gary Russell Jr., it's just there's nothing consistent with the guy. He's either injured or it's boxing politics, which has plagued his whole career, it seems. Okay, so that being said, let me just jump to the fight. First and foremost, before we jump into anything else, there needs to be a rematch. Period. There needs to be a rematch. Do I think Magsayo won the fight? By like a hair, slightly. But I would have been more comfortable with a draw, to be honest with you. That would make a whole lot more sense to me. I'm sorry. Gary Russell is the champ. You have to beat the champ. You have to take the title from the champ. You can't, by the hairs of your chin, you know, beat the champ. I don't think that's right. Again, boxing politics. I know Gary Russell Jr. is not the most liked individual, you know, in maybe behind the scenes. I don't know. I just think it was wrong. I think a lot of things about this fight were wrong. The judging, I don't know how you get what you got. And I don't know. You should beat the champ. So let me just start with the fight real quick. Gary Russell Jr., I think it's round 4, blows his shoulder out, whatever. I don't exactly know what happened with it, but after that round, he never threw that hand again, his right hand. Okay, so you never throw the hand again. So Magsayo is younger, bigger, stronger. You would think he could stop a one-arm opponent. No, he couldn't. Gary Russell Jr. controlled him. Gary Russell Jr. kept switching angles. Gary Russell Jr. is tripling the other hand up. Like, I mean, straight lefts. I don't know. You know, I'm not a big fan of calling people hype jobs, but looking at this fight, you have a dude who has one arm. His arm is so injured that he's not even using it to block. He's just using it to post up. He's just using it to post up so he can fire off. That's all he's using it for. So he can fire off. You know, he just posts with it and then he throws. That's it. He's not doing this. He's not trying to shoulder roll like Floyd or anything like that because it hurts that much. If it hurts that much, so here's just the common sense thread of this. If it hurts that much, I would attack the arm. I would attack the arm. Listen, a knockout's a knockout. A technical knockout's a technical knockout. Whether I punch you in the chin, whether I break one of your ribs, or I completely knock your arm out of socket, if it, like, whatever. I would attack the arm. You know, that's one thing I've always liked about Rocky Marciano. Everything was a target to the man. It wasn't just the chin. It wasn't just the ribs. Everything was a target to Rocky Marciano. He used to hit people in the hips. And there were guys after the fight, and they'd be like, oh, I'm fine, but I can't walk. Like, you know, because he realized, yeah, okay, you know, I have 2 left feet. But if I hit you in the hips, you'll have 2 left feet. Then we'll be 2 non-dancing fighters. And we'll just be stagnant. We'll just be toe-to-toe. You know, he would beat you up. He would physically just beat you up. Whatever he could hit, he would go after it. And you would think, I mean, you got Freddie Roach in the corner. You would think he would get some kind of instruction like, what are you going after his chin for? Break that arm. If for nothing else, he won't be able to do this anymore. Like, because clearly it was bothering Mark. I mean, I don't really know why. By like the 6th round, he should know he's not going to throw that thing. So I don't really know why it's bothering him or why why it would stop him in his tracks. Like, what are you stopping for? He hasn't thrown it in 3 rounds. Just attack, punch him in the arm. Trust me, he'll put it down. He'll put it down. You know, like, and then his chin is right there. Like, I don't know. So, in terms of Magsayo, I'm not the most impressed with him. I'm not the most impressed. Listen, I understand this guy's supposed to fill Manny Pacquiao's shoes. You know, another, Philippine sensation. He is no Manny Pacquiao. So let's stop fooling ourselves. He is no Manny Pacquiao. I think he's a fun fighter to watch. He's definitely not going to have a career like Manny Pacquiao. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. He will not have a career like Manny Pacquiao. When I look at Magsayo, what I see, just projecting, I think he'll have a fun career. And let me say it like this. I look at him the way I would look at somebody like Arturo Gatti. He's a fan favorite. Everybody loves him. They're going to come out and watch him. But when he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. And then there's other guys who are on his level or better. And that's how I look at Magsayo. I think he's fun to watch. I think he's extremely entertaining. And I think he has heart. And that's one of the things about him that I get it when people, compare him to Pacquiao. Yeah, it's not the skill set. He does not have skills like Manny Pacquiao. He does not have feet like Manny Pacquiao. He does not throw combinations like Manny Pacquiao. And speaking of combinations, this dude was throwing combinations. Gary Russell would just block them. So again, I don't know who's judging. Like, whoever judged this fight should be either looked into or suspended or possibly even fired. Because when you look at the fight, a lot of those shots were blocked. That's why every time I look at fights, I always cut the volume down. I don't want the people commentating kind of, because if you listen to other people talk, and I'm not saying all the time that people want somebody to win ahead of time, but sometimes it looks like people want certain individual to win ahead of time. I don't feel like enough emphasis was put on the fact that, in terms of their commentating, that this man is fighting with one arm, and doing a really good job of it. His footwork is on par. He's doing a really good job of it. He's slipping punches really well. He's still controlling Magsayo. Like, Magsayo had moments, like he had a spot here, a spot there, a spot there, but he never really truly took a full round. Like, I get it. Obviously, he's going to throw more punches. He has 2 arms, 2 hands. He's not going to throw as many punches. He has 1 arm, 1 hand. So obviously, when you're looking at, he looks more busy. Of course, he has 2 hands. The question that I want to pose is, how many of those punches connected? How many of those punches connected cleanly? Not glove, not grazing, cleanly. Like, are you kidding me? So I don't know. This fight left a bad taste in my mouth. I like the way Magsayo fights. Like I said, I think he's all heart. And that's great. I think it's great for entertainment. And I think that's the way you set a path to leave your name behind when it's all said and done. However, I hope he would do the right thing and give Gary Russell Jr. a rematch, an immediate rematch. Not, I'll see you next year or some foolishness like that. A rematch immediately. He deserves it. And another, I don't know how Magsayo could be happy with that. I'm sorry. Like, even in the post-press conference, he's smiling. He's like, I'm the champ now. Dude, you did not take that belt. Like, even if I give you the fight, you didn't take the belt. Like, you didn't take the belt. He has 1 arm. You are bigger than him and he has one arm. What are you doing? Take the belt. Take the belt. What got you on the scene was the fact that you could go down and get back up. That you had all heart. That you were, a blaze of glory. That's what really, popped your name on. Besides the fact that Filipino, and him and Manny Pacquiao are really close, and he's somewhat being tutored by Manny Pacquiao. But outside of that, dude, take the fight. Take the belt. I don't understand how he could be just happy with this win. Like, I hope the right thing is done. I hope he gives an immediate rematch. I hope Gary Russell Jr., whatever he needs to do, if it's surgery, get your surgery. Because you're only getting older. So you can't afford to, every time you fight, be 85%. You're only getting older. Do what you need to do. Unfortunately, you're going to have to take some more time off, just for that shoulder alone. But do what you need to do. But on Magsayo's end, do what's right. Give an immediate rematch. Do what is right. Do what's right to the fans. Do what's right to Gary Russell Jr. because he gave you an opportunity to fight for his belt, and now you have it. So you do what's right towards him, and you give him the opportunity to fight back for that belt. Fair and square. And hopefully, on Gary Russell Jr.'s side and his end of things, hopefully you will have two arms to compete with. But those are my thoughts. I want to know what you think down below. And as always, please like, please share, please subscribe.